welcome to another video, live and direct from the bunker. Today we're going to be talking about the vehicle winter kit. Straight into it without any mucking around. Jump leads. Always try and carry some jump leads if you can. Try to get them the best quality ones that you can afford. These ones just happen to be heavy duty because they've got 4x4 and 2 batteries. You don't want to get the cheap ones if you can. So jump leads, very important. Food, all sorts of food in there. Now you don't really have to go that mad if you don't want to. These are just enough to keep me, my partner going for 24-48 hours at a push. Okay. Obviously this video is geared up to how I kit my vehicle out with my circumstances. Everyone's vehicle and their circumstances are different. That's why everyone should tailor their own, not just copy each other. But little things from other people which you might not have considered will help. Okay, so food, snacks, stuff that requires water, that's lightweight. You don't want to make it too heavy if you can. Fuel consumption, moving the box to and from, etc. could get very heavy because it's easy to get carried away. Okay, so snacks, coffees, sugar, all that sort of thing requires water. We're going to go on to that in a minute. What goes in must come out. Toilet roll. Just happen to wrap this up in a plastic bag, open in a box, etc. If it's honking with rain, you don't want this soaking wet. So a toilet roll. Comms kit. Now I did do a video a long time ago about what's in here. So if you do want to go through, in actual fact what I might try and do is put a link to this video. But just a sneak peek, that's what's in there. And not only is it a ham radio, you can also listen to any sort of radio stations that's broadcasting to give you any heads up on what's going on out there. Okay. Backup, always carry something like that in your vehicle. De-icer and screen wash. Now these are pretty good. It goes down to about -37, -40. I know it sounds extreme, but there's a good reason for that. I'm going to tell you a little story about it. A friend of mine who I work with, he was at a funeral earlier on in this year when we had the Beast from the East, 2018. He was up Liverpool way, and the winds and everything got so cold so quick. What was happening was the windows were freezing up and people were using their screen wash and it was just freezing up instantly. And it was due to the wind speeds and the wind chill which made it crazy. I mean, most people would use to screen wash down to about -10 or something, thinking yeah that's enough. But when you take into account the speed of the wind, the speed your vehicle's driving as well, and the cold temperatures, everything's going to freeze up and you won't be able to see anything. So try and get the lowest temperature rating that you can. It really will help. Of course, it being cold, you don't want cold hands. Hand warmers. Use these for years, swear by them, and I've got no problem recommending them at all. You can probably get these in places like Tesco's or supermarkets here in the UK, and just get loads of them when they're on offer. Make your money go a bit further, okay? Last up to 10 hours. You can put them in sleeping bags, anywhere in the vehicle, your hands, your feet, your socks, whatever you need to do. Keep everything nice and warm. Especially when your hands are freezing cold and it's very hard to open things like zips and pockets and buttons and poppers. Something like that will really help, okay? Obviously when you're cooking, you're going to need something to eat from. This happens to be an X-plate, doubles up as a chopping board, and it just pops open and you can fit a nice sizable amount of food in there. Ideal for stews, casseroles and all that sort of thing. I opted for the bowl version rather than a plate, purely for the fact there's lots of liquid, you just don't want it running everywhere. Nice and lightweight, folds up to nothing. Very good, the X-plate. 1 and 2. One for me, one for my partner. These are British Army issue softy suits, trousers and jackets. Rather than keep them in their individual stuff sacks, which take up a bit of room, I use the Jungle compression sacks, and I'm a big fan of these, as most of you regulars know me by now. I've probably got about 10 of these with all sorts of kit and equipment everywhere. They really compress well, and they're pretty much waterproof, and they don't cost a lot of money, around about £5 if you're lucky enough to find them brand new. And so you've got trousers and tops in there. So you've got a sleeping bag which you can walk around in. Okay, so in and out of the vehicle, etc. Brilliant. So there's one for me and one for my partner. I happen to be large, my partner's small, so we're sorted. The compression sacks are great. As I say, it takes up less room, because when you try and fit it all in a box like these, you don't want it just completely loaded where you can't get to everything. Oops. Going on to clothing. For me and my partner, we got hats, socks and gloves, all winter thermal, thick, all in there, sealed in a plastic bag. Incidentally, these sealy bags, what I tend to do is put it all in there, seal it up to it's almost shut, then squeeze it as much as you can, and zip it, and it pretty much stays almost vacuum sealed. Again, saving space, keeping it watertight. You don't want to get anything like this wet, so if you can, just try and waterproof it. Doesn't have to cost a lot of money. If things get really bad, survival bag. Now these aren't very expensive. I've only used one once in an emergency, but I can say that the thickness of material and the size you get from these, there's so many different things you can do with these. Okay, this just happens to be made by a company called BCB, and they're very inexpensive. Doesn't take up much room, and they could really help someone if they're in trouble. Use that in unison with this. This happens to be a high performance blanket. It's like a space blanket, but a lot thicker and a lot better. It's going to last a lot longer. It's not going to tear as easy. So them two together, keeping your body heat in, keeping you waterproof, the wind off. Very cheap, very small, very lightweight, very good. Them sorts of things really do tick high in boxes if you are preparing for all sorts of things. Okay? If you have to wash and you're dirty, obviously you don't want to be using water as much as possible, so wipes are good to give yourself a nice clean. These happen to be tea tree, so they're very good like antiseptic, so if you've got any cuts as well, these doubles up as like a wound cleaner. So again, multiple uses. They're very small, pack up nothing at all, and I think there's 25 in there, and I think they're like £1. And once they're sealed, brand new, they last for years. You haven't got to worry about them drying. Okay, as soon as you open them and start using them, no matter how much you try to seal them, eventually they will dry out. So for vehicle kits, if you're thinking on the same lines, make sure you get one new and sealed. Okay, what you don't want to be doing is taking out an old set, and then when you go to use it, it's all dried out. They're not going to work as good. Okay. A Mora knife. It's a good all-round cheap knife. This happens to be my partner's, and I've got my knives in my EDC bag, but she doesn't carry one, but there's one in a vehicle kit. Okay, obviously knives useful for all sorts of things. Goes in there. Water. As you can hear, it's full up. Make sure that these are thoroughly clean inside and out, and let to dry naturally. Okay, don't make the habit of putting like a tea towel in there. It might be a bit dirty, cross-contamination, get bugs in there. Wash it thoroughly, very clean, let it dry naturally, overnight preferably, and then once that's met your requirements, just fill it up with water. Use any sort of water you want, it's fine. And what I've done with this is I've got some Puri tabs, and they're just folded up and stored on the top like that so it doesn't get lost. Okay, very important. As I say, there's other things in my EDC bag which go in cahoots with all this, like water purification, etc. So there's no need to keep it in here. It's already in my EDC bag, and that goes with me everywhere I go. So going on to eating and drinking, etc. We got a little spoon there, which is sharpened at the end, so it makes it nice and useful for getting in those little corners and getting all of the food out of eating vessels. So when you're cooking, obviously something like that's very cool. Got a titanium lightweight spork. Got a military NATO issue knife, fork and spoon set. Never actually used this, it's brand new, but it's sitting there waiting to be used. In my EDC, in my car, I've got a head torch, my partner hasn't, so there's a head torch there. I think I got that was Alpha Bushcraft, that was. They're very good, they're lightweight, silver. So if you're into jogging and running, etc., very lightweight, very easy to use. They're really good. And also on Alpha Bushcraft, you've got an emergency strobe, okay, just for attracting attention if you really need to. Very, very simple. You just turn it on and it flashes. Now I don't know if you can see that on the lens, sometimes these don't actually come out, but you could probably hear it, okay. That's what I like, things that are simple, that are hard wearing, and things like that, there's so little to go wrong. Once you start going into complicated electronics, you are open to failures, okay. So keep it simple. Speaking of keeping it simple, I love this bit of kit. I had it for years now, given to me by Rav Power a long time ago now. And it's a lantern. Doubles up as a torch from the front there. You can pull it out, make it into a lantern. It's USB chargeable. This happens to be charged up. Incidentally, if you're storing stuff like batteries in your vehicle, periodically check, make sure they're charged up, because batteries do not like cold. They really don't, okay? So make sure it's charged up. You've got a charging lead with it. There's nothing worse than carrying something like this and go, yeah, great, and then go to plug it into your phone or whatever to charge yourself, because this doubles as a battery power bank as well. You can't do anything. So keep leads with charging devices. Going with that bottle there if I really needed to. There's a fish to suspend it over fire if I needed to. And going lightweight, a BCB mug, the new version, okay. Very, very handy, and obviously you can cook food, you can drink all sorts of things with a mug stroke cooking pot, okay. I'm sorry if the lighting's not very good in there. I'm going to have to do something about it one day, because it's above me, there's nothing over there, and it comes out probably a little bit dark. There you go. BCB mug. And that, boys and girls, is pretty much it. As I say, there's other things to go with this piece of kit. Incidentally, I've got like a nice wool blanket I've got from a car boot sale. I've got that for £2. Excellent. It's like the size of a double-sized duvet. So it's enough for 2 people, plus a little baby, if things get really bad. That's rolled up neatly in a Dutch waterproof, I think it's a ground mat, foam mat cover. So yeah, that's very cool. Incidentally, you know, keeping the rain off, you want to keep things like that dry at all times. That just goes in the car, along with fire kits and loads of other things you can think of. What I didn't want to do is to get everything that I needed in one great big box. It just takes up so much room in the back of the car, and I like to have things in different places, okay. You've got fire extinguishers, the EDC bags, it's got a knife, you've got a saw, it's got like a stove in there, gas and all the rest of it, so that's how I can cook with what I need, that's in here. So yeah, you know, I know that people are going to say in the comments, oh yeah, but you haven't got this, you haven't got that. The chances are I've probably got it in the car already, but to get everything out of the car and into the bunker and cover it all, it would just make a long video. So I just wanted to do something really quick to make people think about what they should carry in their vehicle. Things can change real bad, real quick, and it's always in hindsight. You know, a lot of people learn by their mistakes, and they'll go out on a journey unprepared, something happens, and they haven't got things to make their life comfortable. They're going to struggle, they're going to suffer, and in the worst case scenario, you can freeze to death. It's that serious. It does happen. I'm not dramatising it, it does happen. People every year here in the UK get stuck in the car, get stuck in the snow, and they die. Or they go off venturing away from the vehicle, they get lost, they get hypothermic, they're on their own, they collapse, they're gone. It does happen. So extend your chances of living longer, protect your family, and make sure that you think about stuff to put in your vehicle for this winter. It's only just around the corner and you have got time. So just think about it, okay? If one person gets an idea from this, my job is done. Makes me very happy that I'm helping people. So there you go. Anyone who's got any comments about what they put in their vehicle that you haven't seen in here and which I haven't touched on, please share it in the comments below so other people can have a look around and get inspiration and encouragement from there on in. Okay, thanks for watching and stay funky.